you ready for some football? It's the Raiders and the Jaguars, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
To return, here's it. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. And careless with a football. The kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
All security eluded him. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Shotgun snap for Garoppolo. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. To return, here's Agnew. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field. It can take off and run when under duress.
And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. This one complete to Christian Kirk, and he'll be out right at the 35. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A handoff for Etienne. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Lawrence will throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. And the first play will be a field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I know at times today's NFL sure feels like everything's about the guy throwing the football. But when you've got a guy who can run it and move it and gain this type of yardage, you'll take him each and every time.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go!
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Jacobs now. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now to pump this one away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Let's go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
We need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Lawrence going to throw again. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They give it off here to the tight end. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. Here's Lawrence. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. This is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marvin Jones from 19 yards away. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Now the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. But it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with him trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw taken in by Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the 29, Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. Johnson now to return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Play action, Garoppolo. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Garoppolo. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Garoppolo now. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
They had yet to run the ball at all in this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. On second down now, it's Jacobs. And he's brought down. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
41.
Jacobs will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. To return, here's Agnew. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
He'll air this one out for Kirk. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively. You could almost see him going through the coaching points. Adjust, find the football, knock it away. Well executed.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action from Jacksonville. Now Lawrence to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down, take the completion, keep moving.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. He'll get that underneath ETN. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He'll let one go deep for Howard. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. That was close to a big play. Just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And they'll bring their first down.
On first down, Garoppolo. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
At the 40-yard line.
Here we go. Ready?
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And yet again, it's Howard with a catch.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. To return, here's Agnew. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Jaguars take over first and 10.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll start on the ground. ETN. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Lawrence finds the open target, Arnold. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
The Jaguars on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking deep for Adams. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Vegas. You're not going to hear Jimmy Garoppolo mentioned among the strongest arms in the league, but that doesn't mean he can't beat you with a long one.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Here we go.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on 1st down. Richard, and a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
13, 2.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. And he finds Howard complete. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Carlson able to put this one through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars down by 6. A minute 40 remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jags are an extra point away from taking the lead.
I don't think there's any great secret or mystery here. We're in the 4th quarter. You've got to take that shot, especially since you're down on the scoreboard. But I have to understand what was going on defensively. They've got to know that as well, don't they?
Absolutely, but they look lost defensively, and they took that shot, got in the end zone, now in position here to take the lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it is good. So they take the lead, and now the pressure falls on their defense to try and hold on. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Now here's Johnson. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now it's the Raiders' turn, trailing by a point, less than 90 seconds to go. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. To throw is Garoppolo. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Garoppolo. That's caught by Howard. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Pass complete. It's Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll look to throw. Connecting with Renfro. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Only needing 2 yards on second down. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howard. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Dwayne Smoot in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Got to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. There's Garoppolo to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive